in Nigeria if they can create that level playing field that we have to very much ask for.
Audio Jungle.
In Nigeria if they can create that level playing field that we have to very much ask for.
Trump and the U.S. government, they finally sent a stern warning to President Tinubu and the Nigerian government. A lot of people right now will be asking why is the Westerners interested in what is happening in Nigeria. There are three is imposing Sharia law on Christians, and Nigeria is not a Muslim state. Nigeria is a multicultural state. It covers both Muslim and Christian. But with what is happening, it looks like the governments are trying to impose Sharia law in the country. Why did I say so? We're having different scenarios. Look at the case of Sunday Jackson. Sunday Jackson was a man who actually was in his farm, and all of a sudden, one Fulani herdsman attacked him. After attacking him, the next thing stabbed Sunday Jackson multiple times. Then so Sunday was still able to oppress him and now stab him on his neck, and that was what happened. Jackson was sent to court, and after everything, the Supreme Court actually found him guilty of murder and is going to be sentenced to death by hanging. And he has been on death row for over 10 years now. So I'm going to be playing video for us that is going to be showing us all these things that have been happening. I'm going to show us video clips that show where the Vice President of the United States was talking about the case happening in Nigeria. And then that one that brought up a lot of unrest, a lot of discussion, and made the U.S. government to be interested again is the issue of Sylvester Okechukwu, the grandfather that was killed in Kaduna State. And it was said that he was killed by some religious imperialists, some religious extremists. And till today, no proper investigation has been done into that case. That's another one again. Unless the issue of the Muslim ticket. So at the end of the day, it's looking like they want to Islamize the whole country. First of all, I'm going to be playing a clip of the Vice President of the United States talking about the issue happening in Nigeria. I'm going to play a video clip for us right now so you watch.
More than any president of my lifetime, President Trump has pursued a path of peace. And we very often, I think, ignore the way in which our foreign policy is either an instrument or an impediment to people all over the world being able to practice their faith. And we know, and as of course I learned in this breakfast last year, I believe there were some Nigerian priests who were being persecuted and were trying to protect their flock despite incredible persecution. We know that some of the biggest groups that are persecuted all over the world today are Christians. And the Trump administration promises you, whether it's here at home with our own citizens or all over the world, we will be the biggest defenders of religious liberty and the rights of conscience.
So guys, you just watched that video clip. So that is a video clip, and that video clip states it clearly. And it showed that the U.S. in no time, if Nigerians are not careful, if the Nigerian government is not careful, they might receive some sort of sanction. Now, let me read another part again. This one I have to read again is from the U.S. mission statement and see what it wrote. It said, the U.S. mission is distressed by the brutal and senseless killing of Reverend Father Sylvester Okechukwu in Kaduna State, Nigeria. We strongly condemn the horrific act of violence. We extend our deepest condolence to the family, congregation, and community of Father Okechukwu. We have suffered an immeasurable loss. Our thoughts are with them during this time of profound grief. We call on the authorities to bring the perpetrators to justice. So let's look at it now. So that last part, let's look at it very well. We call on the government to bring the perpetrators to. That's what the authorities have failed to do. They've not brought those guys to judgment that actually end the life of Reverend Father Sylvester Okechukwu. And these are one of the cases why the US are still talking that, okay, why are we another religious group be attacking another religious group? And this was a clear statement. So with the case of Sunday Jackson, I'm going to be playing a video from Arise, like a tweeted video where they discussed about this particular issue. And also, I'm going to also be playing another video clip again from one Dr. William, a human rights activist lawyer in the United States, also talking about this particular Sunday Jackson case. So I'm going to play the video for us now. Let us see.
Sunday Jackson, a former student in his early 30s, is facing death by hanging after Nigeria's Supreme Court today upheld the judgment of a lower court in Adamawa State. Mr. Jackson was a student turned farmer who says he was violently attacked on his farm in Kodomti Forest in the Newman local government area in Adamawa State by a Fulani herdsman known as Buba Bawuro. The herdsman had strayed into Mr. Jackson's farm with his animals, and after Mr. Jackson challenged him, he apparently pulled a knife and a fight ensued. He stabbed Mr. Jackson a couple of times, but he managed to retrieve the knife and to stab his attacker in the neck, whereupon he died. Mr. Jackson was arrested and charged with murder. He's consistently argued that it was self-defense. In 2021, he was found guilty by a court in Yola and condemned to death by hanging. And today, the Supreme Court in Abuja upheld that judgment. So he's now in a race for his life, and the only option left is to appeal for clemency from the governor of Adamawa State.
So you can see that guy on Arise TV. You can see I talked about the case, and this is very clear. This was a case of self-defense, nothing more. It's not a case of they are lying or this. This was a case of self-defense. So Sunday Jackson was defending himself, and the Fulani herdsman was the one who attacked. So why then will you not actually sentence somebody who was in his rights defense, who was okay, you stabbed me multiple times, you came with the first attack, then I went ahead and stabbed you back, and you were in my own property, your animals were grazing on my crops. I was angry. I told you, don't allow these animals to graze on my crop again. Then you end up attacking him. So after attacking him now, he had to defend himself. At the end of the day, attack you back so that you will not kill him or you will not end his life. Then at the end of the day, the judgment was against the same person that is human. In as much they are trying to do this, there is going to be a revolt over time. That is why the US are still sending some kind of warning, and this warning I know definitely is from the US government. And guys, before we continue with this video today, can you support me by clicking on the subscribe button, liking this video, and sharing this video to your loved ones? Also, before we go, we are going to be looking at a statement from a human rights activist lawyer from the United States in a particular interview talking about this particular issue of Sunday Jackson. And why is it that the authorities still now not actually look into this very well?
A sad day, Charles, for human rights in Nigeria. Sunday Jackson, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm a human rights advocate. Sunday Jackson, by anyone's estimation, is totally innocent. And the issue where this man was out farming, minding his own business, and then the attacker came and a struggle ensued. And of course, this man is going to defend himself. That's why we call it self-defense. And yet today we were at the Nigerian Supreme Court, and it was very brief. It was only about maybe 2 minutes long. And we just wept at the failure of the Nigerian Supreme Court to say that this man, and they had the opportunity to say this man was totally innocent. We haven't seen all the ins and outs of the decision, but we had the opportunity to meet this humble farmer, this young man who unfortunately his wife abandoned him, had been on death row for 10 years. So Sunday Jackson has now become an international case.
Guys, you just watched the interview. Thank you very much for watching this video. Before you leave, kindly support me by clicking on the subscribe button, liking this video, and sharing this video.
All right, guys. So currently, there had been some behaviors from the said Nigerian police and some other, security operatives, most especially that stays in the Igbo land, which is the Biafran areas. The way they extort the Igbos and the way they extort people, I don't really understand. But this is definitely something that is unacceptable, right? So I want you guys to actually understand that the level of injustice that happens in the Biafran areas, all right, the Biafran landmarks from the said Nigerian police and some other security operatives, the level at which these things happen, it's something that you cannot talk about. But I'm going to let you guys to listen to what this young man said about his experience and what people are currently experiencing from most of the police that's on patrol, all right? and how it actually happened is experience, and how the thing is almost, keeping people stranded. You're going to the market, and when you're caught by the police will end up, doing a whole lot of things to you, of which is unacceptable. I'm going to let you guys to actually see all that happened in this particular video update, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
For inside write-up.
Okay, lovers of justice all over the world, please tag the Commissioner of Police Enugu State to this video. Distribute this video as much as possible to get to the police public relations officer, Dan Ndukwe, to be aware of this information and passing across through this video. There are men or syndicate of Nigerian police operating and parading the territory of Nsukka. And their mission is not to avert crime, it's not to combat the societal illness, but rather their primary objective is to extort and exploit the good people of Nsukka of their hard-earned money, especially and predominantly young people. I have a person, Ikechukwu by name. He was driving out of Majesty Hotel in Nsukka, that particular hotel around Oba Road, and he was intercepted by these men who drove in a white Hilux without inscription of police. The only thing that you'll identify them as being operative of Nigerian police is the inscription on their caps, written police. And these people, around 8 p.m., drove this guy from that Oba Road, from Ukwoho Junction, down to the boundary between Opi and Ugogonike, and stopped there. And spent almost 2 hours tormenting and demanding that this young man pays a certain amount of money to them, otherwise they will buy him there. And out of uncertainty, out of fear of what could be his fate, this young man parted a sum of 1 million naira to them. We have the evidence at the appropriate time, we'll make it available. And then proceeded again to yesterday. They stopped some other persons at Big Junction. And he took the intervention of the area commander to unravel who these people were. It happens to that these people were operative of Nigerian police attached to SWAT. And they have been parading in Nsukka, extorting people of their hard-earned money. After the incident that happened at B Junction, that we prevented them from collecting 500,000 naira from those guys, around between the hour of 7:30 to 8 p.m. again, they stopped some other persons coming back from Ibweze South, from Ibagwa, where they went to watch the final that was played in that particular place, and demanded that these people pay some of money to them, which eventually they did. They extorted that money from them, and then they left. Now we are asking, is this the best way to, operate as a Nigerian police? Or are these people prepared to, keep tormenting and exploiting money, extorting money from our people? So we are calling the attention of the Nigerian police, calling the attention of the Commissioner of Police to checkmate the activities of these guys, to stop them from doing this kind of a thing. Otherwise, we are going to lead another protest against the Nigerian police, so that it will not be when this issue has escalated beyond management, people will say we didn't raise alarm. Kindly call these people to order. And you out there watching this video, share this video to make sure that it gets to the people that need to hear this, so that this extortion will be averted. Thank you, and remain blessed as we share this video, so that we'll be on the same page fighting this crime. It is not only these people who are in the bush are our problem. Law enforcement agents are also part of our problem. And I hope you know that. Thank you.